need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibbs Sr. from Bibbs Record Shop. Come on, give it up for the star of the show, Mr. Charles E. Bibbs Sr. Come on, take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
Thank you, Pastor Ben Fair, for that awesome introduction. We're in store for a wonderful evening around the greater Cleveland, greater United States, and the greater world. Once again, we're back with our audience, and we have some fabulous information for you tonight. So we'll get started. We lost a little time, but we're going to make it up for you. First, we're going to have from Bio Coffee, Miss Joanne Harley, who is one of our awesome rhythm and blues recording artists and also rhythm and blues gospel artists. Take it away, Miss Bio Coffee, 2-minute sizzle, how great this coffee is. Thank you.
And Miss Joanne will be joining us in just a couple of seconds. Thank you all for joining us.
Welcome to Bio Coffee. Bio Coffee is organic, a specially formulated blend of Colombian coffee and wheatgrass. Bio Coffee
Can you hear it?
is the only alkaline coffee on the market. An instant drink, just add water. Mixes instantly and tastes great. Wheatgrass is one of nature's superfoods. It's equivalent to having 3 to 5 servings of green vegetables in 1 cup. Bio coffee is an excellent source of fiber, a great prebiotic and probiotic, provides chlorophyll, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, helps blood flow, digestion, and general detoxification of the body. Wheatgrass is hailed the king of alkaline foods, which helps the body from becoming acidic. An acidic environment promotes disease. Bio coffee helps with diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, relieves constipation, improves digestion, inflammation, fatigue, gastrointestinal problems, which is the colon, detoxification, the immune system, weight loss, and eyesight. No caffeine. See results in 12 days or less. No hydrogenated oils, gluten-free, caffeine-free, GMO-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. Please get back to the person that introduced you to this call to get your questions so that you can take the 12-day challenge and get moving today. Have a super blessed awesome day.
Thank you, Miss Joanne, for that valuable information. Now back to you, Mr. Bibb.
On your Bio Coffee, that's Charles E. Bibb Sr., 216-681-1469 to get the remaining information on the Bio Coffee, how you can obtain the Bio Coffee, and how you can become a member of the team who is distributing Bio Coffee. Thank you very kindly. Next, tonight we're glad to have back after a short absence with us one of our awesome co-hosts, Miss Tammy Kennedy, will be coming forward with some information from the Cleveland awesome mayor, Justin Bibb. floor is yours, Ms. Tammy Kennedy.
Hello, Mr. Bibb and audience. The 2022 State of the City Address with Mayor Justin Bibb will take place Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Maltz Performing Arts Center, located 1855 Ansel Road, Cleveland, Ohio. The event will be live streamed at cityclub.org. If you wish to attend in person, you must reserve your seat in advance through Maltz Performing Arts Center box office. The number is 216-368-6062. Limit of 2 tickets. Free public transportation and free parking will be available. Doors open at 6 p.m.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kennedy.
You're welcome, Mr.
And
Bibb.
I want to tell you again, welcome back to the Bibb podcast. You did an awesome job. Now we have a crisis in the African American community and leadership of the Democratic Party. We're moving forward because this is the election. This is the year we have an election for chairman of the party. And as of today, there are not any African Americans who have shown an interest in being chairman of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. And I think that is awesome because the African Americans are the most loyal members of the Democratic Party of all the different ethnic groups. African Americans vote 90% Democrat. So if this party is going to come back and take the state of Ohio, it's going to be done by African Americans. And if that's the case, we need African Americans to lead this Cuyahoga County, because Cuyahoga County is the county that leads Ohio in terms of statewide elections. So we'll be on a course of going out through the community, trying to find people who could be a very good chairman, or they could be looking to move up the ladder from whatever else they're doing and taking over the reins of the chairmanship of the Cuyahoga Democratic Party. It might come as a surprise to some people, and the old ones, they can remember. We've had 4 African American chairmen of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. The first one was Congressman Louis Stokes. He was our first African American chairman of the County Democratic Party. Then later on, when he left, he turned it over to George L. Forbes. He was the chairman of the party, African American. And when Stu Garson, European American, was the chairman of the Democratic Party, and he resigned in mid-term, State Senator Sandra Williams took over the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. Most people don't know that, but she was chairman of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. And at the next election, Chantel Brown, who is now the congresswoman from the 11th Congressional District, took over chairmanship of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, and I thought that was wonderful. Just one African American following the other African American. But I'm told as of today that no one has announced that they want to run for chairman of the Democratic Party. So I've talked with some people we're going to form a coalition and try to get the community interesting and trying to bring the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party back where it should be, controlling what happens at the state level, so that we won't be going into this kind of election we're having this week. We're still waiting on a map for state reps to run from, and a map for state senators to run from, and a map for the congressional map. And early voting starts next week, Tuesday, April 5th. And we still don't have maps because the Democrats are not in control of the maps. The Republican Party is in control of the maps, and everything is kind of going haywire. So in order to get it back where it should be, I think the loyal supporters of the Democratic Party should be in charge of the Democratic Party so we can bring things back and we can be ready for 2024. But at the rate we're going now, we're not going to be ready for 2024 unless we can get more people to join us, the African Americans, and vote with us 90%. They just don't vote with us. We lost the state. Biden lost Ohio when he ran for president. He won other states, but he didn't win Ohio. The Republicans took Ohio. Donald Trump ran all through Ohio like a hot knife through butter. But we have to stop it, and it's going to take strong leadership, just like they have at the national level. At the national level, we have an African-American chairman, and so we need to have one here in Ohio. And anyone interested in this, please give us a call at 216-659-4619. The Ohio 8th House District Black Caucus is the lead group in this coalition that we're building to find someone who wants to step up to the plate and take charge of the Ohio Democratic Party movement, where Cowley County will have an African-American chairman at the top and here in Cowley County. Thank you, Barry County. And as we move on, Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibb.
you're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
You're a man for all seasons. And now we have a season of helping others. Reverend Ben Fair is the chairman of the committee Helping Hand, Community Helping Hands. And we brought one of the people who are going to be working with us and in charge of distribution for this PPE equipment that's coming to town. Would you bring up forward for us, please, Reverend Ben Fair?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bibbs. We have our special guest with us today who is one of our own. It's giving me great pleasure to introduce her to our viewing audience and our listening audience and to our community. She is doing a great work at being an advocate for our community. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Miss Tammy Kennedy, who is the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective Organization. She's part of that organization. So without further ado, is Tammy Kennedy. Miss Kennedy, take it away.
Thank you so much, Reverend Fair. I am glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm here to talk about the collective. I am actually the founder of the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective, also known as GCDC. The collective is an organization that I am a part of. We come together as grassroots organizers to distribute free hygiene and sanitation supplies. Now, sometimes we have the PPE, sometimes we won't have the PPE. So right now, we don't even know if we still need the PPE or don't need the PPE, but we have the sanitation supplies and the hygiene supplies.
Great.
So the name of the collective has changed as of 2022. It is now the Working Collective 6. And it's an association with the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective, as I said, GCDC. We will be distributing in April.
Yes.
So there will be free hygiene supplies for Cuyahoga County beginning in April. Now, what you need to do in order to get these free supplies is send an email to the Working Collective 6. So let me just spell that out. TheWorkingCollective number 6. So that's theworkingcollective@gmail.com. And that's how you'll get your simple, easy application to get the hygiene and sanitation supplies for grassroots organizers to distribute free for up to 100 people at a time per organizer. So this distribution is for Cuyahoga County only, and it is for small and grassroots organizers only. Large organizations and corporations must donate to the Working Collective 6 to get supplies. The donation amount will be determined by the size of the organization or corporation.
All right.
So we had a shipment come in, and on that shipment there's a variety of hygiene supplies. It changes every month, so we don't know what's coming until we get it, because these are corporations who donate to an international charitable corporation,
Yes.
and they give it to me,
Okay.
the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective.
Okay, great.
And so I'm working in association with the Working Collective 6 so that these supplies can get out
All
into our community. So again, you know, if you need me to repeat that email, you have to send the email. The email address is theworkingcollective6@gmail.com. It's a simple application. We want to make this a simple process as possible, but it is only, and I'm going to capitalize, only for Cuyahoga County.
Yes.
See, originally we started in 2021 servicing the eastern side of Cuyahoga County, but we had many people from the west side of Cuyahoga County who also needed the supplies. So we decided, you know, of course, we're not going to discriminate.
You're adding one.
Yes. So the only thing that we're going to change up at this time is that it has to be for grassroots and small organizations. And that could be your church, it could be your block club, it could be your senior building, it could be your daycare. If you are a small organization or grassroots organizer, please send that email to the Working Collective 6 at gmail.com immediately, because we will begin distributions very shortly in April for definite.
And you send that email to request an application.
That's correct. The email to the Working Collective 6 at gmail.com is to get an application. The application will be emailed back to you, and then you can fill it out. It's a simple form with your name, your location, how many people you're servicing, where you're servicing, and that kind of thing. You don't have to put all the people's names on it and all of that kind of stuff. It's just not necessary for us. But we do need to have an account of who's getting the supplies.
Great. And you have a scheduled time on the application as well?
You know, the application, I am not the person doing the application, so I would think that there is either a scheduled time or someone will call you or email you, which would probably be the manager of this warehouse in Glenville, and her name is Bessie Connor, and she will get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, one more question. Is the address to the location on the application?
The address should be on the application. As I said, we've had some changes. We have a new name, we have a new location, we have a new email, we will have a new number. So all the information you need should be on the application. And as soon as she can, the manager will contact you. She may even call you, you know, and set up that time that you can come and get your supplies.
Great, great. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Ms. Kennedy.
Miss Tammy, last time that we worked with you, we had about 15 organizations who worked with us. We gave them the applications and got the information to them when they come and pick up. Are they going to do this to each one of them individually?
Yes, it's changed. See, the last time, Mr. Bibb, that was what, in February? Yeah, in February, I being the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective, did a distribution primarily for Black History Month. And I did it differently because I was basically supplying like a bunch of churches and the organizations, and you didn't have to do this application process because I didn't set it up that way. But the Working Collective 6, which is the organizations that was the collective, it has an application process. My distribution, or I'm going to say not my, but the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective distribution in February was primarily for Glenville and people who I knew in the Glenville area or the surrounding areas. And so you just came directly to me.
Yes.
And I, just like you, Reverend Fair. And I said, well, Reverend Fair, you handling the churches. You gave me about 15 churches.
Yes.
Candace Jones had, sororities and fraternities and different organizations. So you
Areas.
just came to me. So you just came directly to me.
Yes.
And I, just like you, Reverend Fair. And I said, well, Reverend Fair, you handling the churches. You gave me about 15 churches.
Yes.
Candace Jones had, sororities and fraternities and different organizations. So you
Areas.
just came to me. So you just came directly to me.
Yes.
And I, just like you, Reverend Fair. And I said, well, Reverend Fair, you handling the churches. You gave me about 15 churches.
Yes.
Candace Jones had, sororities and fraternities and different organizations. So you
Areas.
just came to me. So you just,
Okay.
you handling the churches. You gave me about 15 churches.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So, Miss Tammy Kennedy,
Yes,
so
Mr.
this
Beard.
time each one of our churches do theirs individually.
Yes, this time, Reverend Fair, you won't need to coordinate the churches. All I need you to do is let the churches know to send the email to the Working Collective 6, and they can set up their own schedule
Okay.
to come in and get the supplies. Again, it's different than we did it in February. In February, I just did it to get some supplies into the community because the collective had basically ended the 6-month project that we began in 2021.
Yes.
So we had a 6-month project. That was the collective. But as a result, by January 1st, we no longer had our warehouse. It was a 6-month project. So now we're moving forward to become a program versus a project.
Yes.
So what we're doing now, we're doing some training and some organizational management, setting up a structure so that the Working Collective 6 may become its own 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
See you
Now,
with
Reverend-
your microphone in front of the camera. That's the camera right there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So that we're clear on this,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna give them the list of everyone that we used with Miss Tammy Kennedy before, and let them handle the list.
No.
No. I tell you what we're gonna do. Just listen.
Mm-hmm.
You do, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
Our organization
Mm-hmm.
will let our members know that they have to do this individually.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
We won't be trying to be the in-between.
Right.
Right.
We'll let them deal with each one of those churches directly themselves. But
Correct.
we have to let the churches know that we're going to do it that way.
Yes.
So they won't be looking for us to help them to get the connection. We'll make the connection from them, for them, and then they'll take it over.
Great.
And that is why we're having this meeting right after we have the show today.
All right.
Thank you very kindly.
All right.
Anything
welcome.
else before we move the agenda? I'm talking like I'm in a meeting. Love it. Love it. Okay.
Somebody asked in the comments, when can they get the supplies?
Well, what you need to do is send an email to theworkingcollective6@gmail.com, and the manager over at the warehouse, the new location in Glenville, will either send you an email back with the application attached, or they will call you. They may do both. And at that point, you can set up a time. This is how it was done for the 6-month project. You contact them, get the application, fill out the application, send it back in. They set up the time for you to come and get your products.
Great. Great. Great.
All right. Thank both of you. And we have to
You're
move.
welcome.
And good job, Miss Tammy Kennedy, coming back fresh from February to now.
Yes, absolutely.
good.
Thank you.
And,
You're welcome.
Miss Candace Jones,
Yes, I'm here.
the Business Opportunity Mall is wide open, and you have an awesome opportunity you want to share with our audience. Would you please share with us, please?
Yes, I want
Snap
to share.
delivered.
about Snap Delivered. Snap Delivered is a food delivery service that launched in 2021. Snap Delivered is here to rescue the restaurant delivery process. Restaurants only pay a $2 flat fee for deliveries. And I'm going to show you this quick video about Snap Delivered and why it's so great. And again, the restaurants only have to pay a $2 delivery fee instead of the 20, 30, or 40% delivery
Steve with Snap Delivered.
fee.
Hi, my name is Steve with Snap Delivered. Now, I know that as a restaurant owner, you're a very busy person. So in respect to that, I'm going to keep this really short. In just the next few minutes, you'll know who we are, what we do, how we can drive more loyal customers to your restaurant and increase your bottom line without you making any investments or changes to your day-to-day operations. So here we go. Snap Delivered is a new food delivery platform who figured out how to do delivery better. Restaurant owners are tired of being nickeled and dimed and having their margins eaten up by these third-party delivery apps. So we fixed that problem with a low flat rate service and a cashback program that can actually turn your delivery expense into a new profit center for your restaurant. For starters, restaurants using Snap Delivered only pay a flat $2 per delivery, regardless of the size of the order. We do not charge percentages like the others. There are no activation fees, no contracts, and no exclusivity required. When you experience the savings over other delivery apps, you'll want all your order out customers to bring you their business through Snap Delivered. Here's an example. One of our new restaurant partners sent us her weekly invoice with one of the big delivery apps. Her restaurant did 192 orders for the week with gross sales of $6,944. The fee she had to pay for those deliveries was $2,559. With Snap Delivered, those same 192 orders would only cost her $384, a total savings of around $9,000 per month. But it gets even better. If you share Snap Delivered with your customers and they download the app with your referral ID, that customer is hard-coded to your restaurant, and we will pay you $1 every time they order from any restaurant in our network, in perpetuity. Imagine that, getting paid when your customer orders food from another restaurant. We've made it really easy to share Snap Delivered with rack cards, QR codes, table tents, social posts, website downloads, etc. Your customers can get set up with Snap Delivered in a snap, all pun intended. Also, if you have delivery drivers coming into your restaurant to pick up orders from other delivery apps that you're using, you can hand them a simple flyer. And if that driver downloads the app with your referral ID, you get 20 cents for every delivery they do in perpetuity. And one more thing, if you know other restaurant owners and you refer them to Snap Delivered, you earn 40 cents for every delivery that goes out their door for as long as they use Snap Delivered to deliver their food. This passive, frictionless revenue stream to your restaurant can quickly add up, making a significant contribution to your retirement. Or you can use this new revenue source to hire more people, add into your marketing budget to further expand your customer base, or maybe you can use it for bonuses for your employees. It's up to you. Here's the bottom line. Snap Delivered is helping restaurants stay in business with a low flat $2 per delivery rate, and they're taking 60% of their profits and injecting it back into the local community to support and reward the restaurants, drivers, customers, and local organizations who use and share the Snap Delivered app. This is what drives loyalty to Snap Delivered, because the restaurants, drivers, customers, and local organizations are owners too. Below this video, you'll see a short and simple registration form. Once you complete that, we will submit your info to our platform and contact you to complete the onboarding process. Our goal is to make your experience with Snap Delivered as simple and profitable as possible. Again, complete the registration form below, and we look forward to bringing tremendous value to your bottom line, to your customers, and to our community. Welcome to Snap Delivered.
Thank you so much for watching that quick video. And again, SNAP Delivered is just one of the business opportunities in Bibbs Opportunity Mall. And again, it's free to join SNAP Delivered. So if you're interested in joining, which I'm sure you will be because it's free to join, you can contact Mr. Bibb at 216-659-4619. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Bibb.
Thank you, Miss Candace Jones. That's wonderful. And I won't delay the hour. We're running behind. And I'm going to introduce Dr. Marlin like you introduced the president. Dr. Marlin, are you with us? Dr. Charles Marlin?
You're on mute, Dr. Modlin.
Yes, hi. Yes, thanks for having me.
I will tell you this. Doctor's bringing us three great things tonight. He's going to tell us about his men's health fair. He's going to tell us about this awesome book that he has. And he's going to tell us about this new update COVID-19 second booster shot. The floor is all yours, Dr. Martin. Go right ahead.
So, yeah, thanks. So, regarding the second COVID booster shot, I know the CDC recently came out with recommendations advising individuals who are in the high-risk categories, individuals over the age of 65 who have certain comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, who are immunocompromised. Recommendations are that these individuals should consider getting a second booster, which means either they get the Pfizer or the Moderna. So that's something to stay alert and aware of in terms of ongoing recommendations. Where you can go get these boosters, and the reason is because the research is showing that the immunity afforded by either naturally acquired COVID-19 antibodies or immunity acquired by getting the initial 2 injections or the first booster wanes by around 5 months, 7 months. Again, it varies in individuals. So, but again, this may be a situation where we may have to be getting boosters, once a year. So we don't know yet. I mean, the science is still evolving. I know President Biden received his second booster yesterday that was televised. So he's trying to, set an example for the rest of us. What I wanted to announce also, we're only 29 days away from a very important event that is being held at the Metro Health Medical System, and that's our Minority Men's Health Fair. This is a very special opportunity for men, and again, this is open to all men regardless of race or ethnicity, but we're specifically reaching out to men of color because men of color have the highest incidence of a number of chronic disease states, health inequities, health disparities. Again, some examples are, black men compared to white men have twice the incidence of developing prostate cancer, twice the incidence of dying from prostate cancer, 4 to 6 times greater the incidence of developing kidney disease, 80% higher incidence of diabetes and high blood pressure. The list goes on and on. We have twice the rate of having strokes, and then if we have a stroke, we're twice as likely to have a second stroke. So these are some examples of health disparities. And again, people ask me, well, why is it, why are you specifically reaching out to men of color? And that's why. So, so we have to, we look at a situation, and if we see a certain segment of the population has a greater incidence of disease, it's our responsibility to try to target this group and try to reach out to them and get them to understand the importance of undergoing these preventative health screenings. One example is prostate cancer is potentially 100% curable if we can detect it in early stages. And what I mean by that is if we can diagnose early stage prostate cancer in a black man, their survival can be equivalent to that seen in a Caucasian American man. And in both groups, if we can diagnose it and treat it in early stages, it's potentially 100% curable. Hypertension, diabetes, if left undiagnosed, untreated, uncontrolled, can lead to stroke, heart attacks, peripheral vascular disease, kidney disease. So Thursday, April the 28th, on one day, 3 locations at the Metro Health Medical Center. The main campus, which is most people know it's on West 25th Street. Metro has a Broadway campus, 6835 Broadway Avenue, which is in Slavic Village, and also at our Cleveland Heights Medical Center, which is next to the Severance. It's on Severance Circle, 10 Severance Circle. These health screenings are free. They're open to everybody. We're going to start at 5 p.m. We're going to go until about 8:30 p.m. We're screening individuals from head to toe. We have essentially every medical specialty. They're represented performing health exams, giving health information, answering your questions. We're also drawing blood. We're checking for prostate cancer with a blood test, kidney function, diabetes, vitamin D, hepatitis C, HIV, cholesterol. So this is a comprehensive health fair that men really should take advantage of, whether or not you already have a primary care physician or not. This health fair is for you. We're going to be providing the men with passports where they can write down information that is presented to them. We're going to encourage that men follow up with a primary care doctor. If they don't have a primary care doctor, we are available to schedule them to see primary care doctors. The goal of the health fair is to not just see these men on this day. It's to, again, encourage them to follow up with a primary care doctor. They don't have to come to a Metro primary care. We're not trying to take them from their existing doctors. That's not what we're trying to do. They can go to any primary care doctor, any health system. We're here to educate these men and to provide them opportunities for a lot of free screenings. Again, it's free. Whether or not you have health insurance, you're invited. We're not going to be taking your health insurance information. This is completely free. So take advantage of this. And again, I explained why it's important, why we're doing it. Thursday, April the 28th, 5 to 8:30 p.m., 3 Metro Health locations. Lastly, thank you for allowing me to briefly mention my book. I'm a book author. My book was published back in August of last year. It's a success navigation book geared towards students who have high aspirations to achieve their successes in life. The book, it's entitled, "It Isn't Difficult to Do It If You Know How to Do It." It's on Amazon, it's on Barnes & Nobles and other selected locations. I know it's in the Shaker Library, the Cuyahoga County Library, the Logan Bookstore on Larchmere. Again, the book is very important. It's based on lessons I learned growing up, lessons I learned on my success journey in becoming a physician, a surgeon. I want to give back to these young students knowledge that I acquired over the last several decades, knowledge and wisdom that I wish I had known at an earlier age. This book will help facilitate their success journey. Again, I acknowledge we cannot eliminate all hurdles, barriers, obstructions, roadblocks, challenges, but there are a number of things that we, the older generation, can do to help set these students on a more direct path, so that certain life challenges they'll be able to better endure. I actually recommend this book for all students. I recommend that the teachers, the parents, the guardians, the coaches get this book. It isn't difficult to do it if you know how to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. A couple of quick questions, please.
Yes.
We're going to have you in the week before you have the event on the 29th to do this again, because we don't want to miss anyone.
Okay.
Do you have any printed material available that we could pass around at the churches and at the library?
Absolutely. What I'll do, I'll drop off we have a health fair flyer. And again, our mantra is "You Matter," and the reason that is on there is we want to emphasize to these men of color to come get your health check, because you matter to people. You matter. Your life is of consequence. You are important.
Very
So,
good.
Yes.
This is what
Yes.
this is what I'd like you to do.
Yes.
Drop 2 packages off to the East Cleveland Public Library as soon as you can.
Okay.
One will be for the library and one will be for the podcast so that I can get it
Okay.
to the churches.
Okay, I'll drop that off tomorrow.
Yes, that's very good.
Thank you.
And I told you about the week before you have your event, health fair, we will have you back on the podcast again, and Candace Jones will be in touch with you. So people,
Absolutely.
we want to try to get as many and try to set the record this year, the biggest one ever, Doc. Thank you very kindly.
Absolutely.
All
Thursday,
right.
April the 28th. Thank you.
Thank you very. That's the 28th. That's what I got
Yes.
down. But very good. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. All right.
All right. And them being fair,
Yes, sir.
that list that we had for the delivery of the goods, we want to
Yes.
also share that list with the preachers and the churches.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yes.
So we'll get that straight. Miss Candace Jones, is Miss Biggerstaff in the house?
No, she has not joined us yet.
Okay, well, if she hasn't joined us next, who do we have next coming up on our schedule, them being fair?
Yes, we have, let's see, we have Miss Candace Jones will be introducing Mr. Rucker, Britannia Rucker.
Very good.
Unfortunately, Mr. Rucker has not joined us yet either.
Okay,
think
we'll go to Detroit, Michigan. They might be on a faster track over there in Detroit, Michigan. If Mr. James Panicus in the house.
Yes, he is.
Mr. James Panicus,
Yes, I'm here.
we need you bad. I heard the president today on international TV says he can't do a thing about this high gas. And he's still buying gas from Russia. And best he can do is drop it 10 cents. So would you help us to share with our audience how we can get some additional cash in a hurry? The floor is all yours from Detroit, Michigan, working from his office right now. Mr. James Panicus telling us all about Go Love Life.
Well, hey, how's everybody doing today?
Great.
Listen, I want to just share something that is very powerful and something that's dear to my heart. And you know what? I think it's very apropos for me to follow the good doctor because we're going to talk about health. And we're actually going to talk about something that is very, 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 very powerful. And that, in fact, I just left a wake. One of my good friend's son, who just passed away at 39, that had something to do with intestinal problems. People don't understand that gut health is something that is very important to a lot of people. And there's a very bad problem out here called Leaky Gut Syndrome. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is our company, Go Love Life. We're a microbiome company. People need to, Google microbiomes. And just to, put it in layman's terms, microbiome is the little party of things that are happening in your gut and intestinal tract. That's all the little things, the bacteria and all the little cells and everything that's going on in your gut that make up everything from the good and the bad. But what happens is we as a people, because of our life and everything that's going on, we're eating fast food, which is unhealthy. We're eating, a lot of what we perceive as healthy foods, but are lacking in nutrients. And our gut is not getting everything that needs to stay healthy. So it's getting cracks in the intestine, it's getting cracks in our stomach lining, which is allowing a lot of things into our system, which is now starting to poison our bodies. And what's happening is our bodies are repoisoning itself daily. So our gut is what is essentially killing it ourselves. So our gut is the reason why a lot of diseases, a lot of illnesses are happening to our bodies. So what happens is Go Love Life has come up with something that is now focusing in on gut health. So we have products that are Noni based. And I know everybody has heard of Noni because Noni was a $6 billion brand, that was brought to the industry. So what we did is we developed 3 products. The first one was this Noni-based product called Noni Next, and it's basically a 2.0 version of the Noni brand, which is basically the original Noni formulation, but it has other powerful superfoods added to it, such as purple carrots. Now look up what purple carrots are doing. That's very powerful in the holistic community. Jackfruit, passion fruit and other things added to it. Then we came out with the first ever Noni Detox, which is a mild detox. It doesn't have you run into the bathroom, but it has other things. But the detox has things that it pulls things out of your skin and makes you healthy. It has some stuff for your hair and different things like that. But it also helps keep the gut clean. But they also came out with something called Phyto Power, which is a powder. Now, this is what focuses in on your gut health. And this has all the vitamins. We're talking about all the nutrients that you need. We're talking about the red vegetables, the yellow vegetables, the green vegetables, the fruits, everything that you need. Using this gets you all the fruits and vegetables that you would possibly need in just a small scoop. So we're talking about everything that you need, a 3-step system. We call this 2 sips in a scoop will make you healthy. They put all that together with a compensation plan that will make you healthier and wealthier. That's what we're talking about, Mr. Bill. Now,
Mr. Panicus, would you tell us what's going to happen this Saturday with Robert Dean and his...
Well, I got something even better than that.
Oh my goodness, share with us.
Coming April 9th, Mr. Robert Dean himself is going to be in Cleveland, Ohio. He's going to be in Cleveland, Ohio, it's going to be April 9th. He's going to be in Cleveland, Ohio at 11 a.m. At 6200 Rockside Woods Boulevard in Independence, Ohio. The Millionaire Maker, the founder of our organization, Top Gun. Now, Mr. Robert Dean is a 55-year-old African-American gentleman who has made $50 million in this industry, and he's one of the real reasons why Noni is a household name. This gentleman has spearheaded and put Go Love Life on his shoulders and is the #2 money earner in the world with Go Love Life. And he's coming to Cleveland, Ohio to shake hands with Mr. Bibb, and he's looking for 10 individuals that he could sit down with Mr. Bibb and show them how to get money as an issue out of the way while being healthier and wealthier. But starting this Saturday, he wants Mr. Bibb to have 20 people on the phone or on Zoom with him to lead up to April 9th so they could get prepared to show them how to get money as an issue out of the way. So this Saturday at 3 p.m. is the precursor to everything that's going to happen April 9th to change your life physically and financially.
Thank you, Mr. Panicus. Good presentation. We're taking notes of it, and we'll be talking to you about both weeks, this week and next week. Thank you very kindly.
All right.
All right.
See you at the top.
See you at the top.
All right.
Is Mr. Mike Seals in the house?
I am, Mr. Bibb. How are you?
All right. I'm turning right over to you and Reverend Fair of what's going on in Columbus about this redistricting.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bibbs. Let's give the our listening audience and our viewing audience a brief update as to what is happening in Columbus with our redistricting process. The inside information: Ohio cursed redistricting process is getting more attention from the national media. The Daily Beast had a story Tuesday detailing the effects of the last of state legislative districts on potential candidates. CNN, Joan Avon ran a critical segment describing the latest turns in Republicans' showdown with the Ohio Supreme Court. On Tuesday, New York Times story highlighted the significance of the Ohio Supreme Court ruling to National Republicans' redistricting strategy. Listen to this, Mr. Bibbs, and our listening audience. The federal court gives Ohio more time to resolve redistricting mess, considers August the 2nd primary for legislative races. Columbus, Ohio, a panel of 3 federal judges weighing whether to take over Ohio's dysfunctional process of drawing new state legislative maps has been given the state until April the 20th to try to figure it out on their own. On Wednesday, the federal judges also gave state officials a national Democratic advocacy group, voting rights groups, and others involved in the sprawling legal fight over redistricting until that date to submit arguments for what they want the federal judges to do if Ohio fails to approve a state legislative map by then. Judges Amul Thaper, Allegan Mobley, and Benjamin Beaton picked April the 20th because that's the latest date state election officials said they could plug in new maps in time for them to be used August the 2nd, the last date the state could hold primary elections for state legislative races. Mr. Seals, pass it on to you.
Yes, sir.
Take it from there.
The ruling came following an all-day court hearing in Columbus on Wednesday. The decision seems to close the door on federal court moving the entire May 3rd primary. Voting for which is supposed to begin on Tuesday, but the entire May 3rd election has been thrown into uncertainty because of delays in redistricting. The routine process updating Ohio political maps to reflect population changes, but now they've opened the case. The federal judges now have signaled they might take over the process completely to make sure an election for state legislative races is actually held. Besides possibly deciding the election date, the court also could decide what map Ohio will use. Among the options judges are weighing the current state legislative maps, which took effect in 2012 and which was supposed to expire at the end of this year, remain in place for another 2 years. Thaper, a U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals and a Trump appointee, floated that idea during Wednesday's hearing. They also could impose one of the previous state legislative plans Ohio Republicans have drawn, similar to what the Republicans-backed lawsuit originally sought. The federal court got involved after Republican activists sued last month in a bid to bypass the Ohio Supreme Court and get one of the rejected maps approved. Wednesday's court hearing ostensibly was decided whether to approve that map in time for the May 3rd election, which the federal judges declined to do. Thanks for letting me share that bit of history
Okay.
making news with you.
Mr. Seals, we're going to go a little personal with you now. Since you are a candidate for state rep, is that true?
Yes, sir. I am a candidate for state rep
And
in the Ohio House District.
and
I'll
Reverend
put a
Ben,
question behind. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Bill.
Yeah. You're a candidate, right?
Yes, sir.
And I asked you to go to the Board of Election and ask them, was it going to be early voting? Share with the audience what you experienced at the Board of Elections.
As of right now,
No, when you went to the
Yes.
Board of Election.
when I went to the Board of Election, they informed me that there will be an election on May the 3rd, but they don't have a ballot yet, as of yet.
What
They also informed me that as a state legislative candidate, that I will not be on the May 3rd on early voting ballot on April the 4th.
Now, did you go out and get signatures to get on the ballot?
Yes, sir.
Did
Yes, sir.
Did the Board of Election tell you you had enough signatures to be on the ballot?
Yes, my signatures was approved.
Now, this is where, Reverend Fair, earlier when I said we have to do something about the state of Ohio, we're going to have to get some Democrat African Americans in charge of this business.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Mr. Seals, and
Yes,
thank
sir.
you,
Thank
Reverend
you,
Ben
Mr.
Fair,
Bibb.
on that awesome report. You can't get this anywhere else but the Bibb podcast, what you just got for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Can you believe this, Miss Kennedy? What is happening to the election is called election depression. Not voter
Yes, sir.
depression, election suppression.
Yes,
And I
sir.
want to
Yes, sir.
thank everybody for listening. We'll finish up the show with you next week. Thank you, Miss Tammy Kennedy, for coming and getting us back involved with the distribution of the PPE equipment. And thank you, Mr. Seals, for coming in and putting this together with Reverend Ben Fair. And this evening I'll have another project for you that's going to be hotter than the one you're on now. Thank you.
Well, all right.
And Miss Candace
Okay,
Jones.
thank you.
Miss Candace
Yes.
Jones, we'll be
Yes.
we'll be calling you because we have a little interruption on our Saturday presentation that I need to share with you, and in about 2 hours. Thank you now, and good night, everyone, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night.
Same time, same station, same place.